So how to draw ground view in perspective. So here are some examples from Akira and from Amal. So here I want to show you three types of ground view. These three types have same principle, but three different conditions. What is mutual for both of these three types is that camera is leaning on the ground. So let's say, oh, this is camera. It's just like fallen to ground or placed on the ground, or it's a viewer. So let's say maybe it's like operator is like looking to camera, leaning on the ground. So, and let's say this one, it's a box, kind of cube for observation. So this is kind of field of view. Yeah, and it can go even backwards if you draw like 360. But here I will not discuss 360 degree. So what we have, this is like camera looking straight, right? Then here is like if you look 45 degree, and here is 90 degree. On a 90 degree here will be a y vanishing point called zenith. Zenith. Here it's kind of z vanishing point. So this three axis, it's a set of axes in a 3D space, which is you need to have a very clear idea of what does mean. And I mention it in every my tutorial, so you can also watch like perspective for beginners in a playlist called like perspective basics. So in a 3D we have this one dimension, it's for verticals, second dimension for widths, and a third dimension for depths, right? So here we see depths, h, and width is just like kind of left and right. So we can also look at how ground view look in a 3D projection. So let's say like this. Let's draw like a dome. Draw dome like this, like hemisphere. So here is a camera, or your head, your eye level. So this is a y vanishing point. This is a z vanishing point. And here on the left will be x vanishing point, and on the right right vanishing point. Yeah, no, also let's show the vanishing point on the back. So on here, let's say have box, cube or box on the ground, and this camera is like leaning on the ground, like I show in the side projection. So it's kind of ground, right? So one type of this ground view, like here in Akira, it's isometry. So what is mean? It's mean this y, z, and x, they don't have vanishing points. Так. No, actually, this is not isometry either. It's almost isometry, so kind of 2-point perspective, let's say. Yeah, let's say 2-point perspective will be more correct. So here in this type of ground view, we will have horizon line here, and then y-axis is just vertical, and z will converge down to horizon line like this, and x conversion down like this. So you can play around with a different angle, but just kind of main principle is this for this type of ground perspective. So second type, it's 3-point perspective. 3-point. So here we have also a horizon line, but now all 3 axes will have vanishing points, like they will converge. So let's say y converges like this, and then z and x. And third type of this kind of ground view, and talk here, it's kind of fish eye, like in Amao, but a little different because this is more like a warm view. Why? What is difference between warm view and ground view? We can say like ground view, it's kind of like one of warm view types. Kind of, say. So, but in a ground view, we will not have like diminishing on the ground like this here, right? So it's horizon line here, and we have this kind of, it's more like a warm view. In the ground view, it will be just kind of ground, and the character, he will standing kind of on this ground shape. Because it's a horizon line right on this ground. So this is ground view. Also kind of type of a worm view. But you see we have like vanishing point directly on the ground and horizon line. It is ground line. Like here, for example. So you see ground line, it's horizon line, or here. So it's horizon line. It's also ground, and you can see like this Z vanishing point is on the right on the ground, and all vanishing points, even they're like different, they all will be on the ground here. So how will be look like this fish eye of a ground plane? Its horizon line will be bent like this, curved. So it's horizon line. And we will have yeah, actually it's also optional. You can have vanishing point inside frame, or you can have vanishing point outside frame. It will still kind of create this curved axis. Anyway, we'll explain it. So let's make it inside. So this Y vanishing point was kind of zenith, so-called zenith. So then have this kind of y-axis, and then the vanishing point on the horizon line will go like this. So here important is to maintain proper curvature. So you see is like y vanishing point is like should be kind of like a eye for these curved lines. So if we have this horizon line, the vanishing point, this axis go here, and here we have y vanishing point, right? So curvature of the axis go around like this. So it creates this kind of like eye pupil kind of shape, right? So it's like y vanishing point is like a pupil inside eye, and the curvature of the axis going around this y vanishing point. And here also interesting. So I need to draw whole structure because kind of. So here, horizon line. Then to find y vanishing point, you need kind of make perpendicular 90-degree angle from horizon line. So then you find like you can choose whatever is optional, like how far you want to make y vanishing point. It's optional, up to you. Like a level of curvature, it's also up to you. You can make it like this, like more flat, or you can make it more curved. Also, like why it's important to have this kind of 90-degree angle, because it's kind of this relationship of x and y. So like here I show in the dome, right? We have left x vanishing point and right x vanishing point. And then here in the center is observer kind of. It's our head or a camera. And this top vanishing point is placed in a 90-degree angle. So when you want in your drawing, you want to tilt your camera, like tilt it right or tilt it left, you tilt this y-axis together with the horizon line. It's like one unite structure. And also here you have flexibility, like you can make it not like 100% accurate. You don't need to have like protractor or some kind of ruler to make sure it's 90-degree. Like it's not perfect here. But it's important to have it in mind so you kind of make it close enough, just kind of approximate, right? Because one thing is make it like loose, and other thing is like totally don't have idea how it works. So you need to have clear idea how it works, why it works this way. So every time you build perspective grid, you just know kind of reason for it. So for example, like I rotate camera, so it's camera kind of, right? I rotate it to round, so vertical axis turn to round. Or I can rotate camera to left, so my y-axis will be leaning left, so horizon line also should be following kind of this direction. 90-degree. So I mean, obviously, like when you draw like 3-point perspective type, same but without curvature. So it's just you make horizon line and you make y-axis 90-degree. So it's like 3-point perspective grid, like rotating camera with 3-point perspective grid. You rotate here to right or you rotate to left, so it's horizon line. Then this like can be z vanishing point, or it's just like point where you make this like central axis for y vanishing point. So, and then you draw this y-axis lines. So this is 3-point, and this like fisheye. You see, it's like same principle, 90 degree. It's just with the fisheye, horizon line is curved. So in fisheye, there like by default we have this z vanishing point. You of course you can have like more vanishing points like in a horizon line like every time, but it's important, it's very helpful to have like this central vanishing point for z, because it helps you to build kind of this general curvature and diminution. So it will give you idea of how curvature change kind of for shortness. So let me show you z. So here the axis match like blend with y-axis, you see. So both like actually it's vertically blend and like above horizon line and below horizon line, z-axis will blend together, mix with y-axis. But then here, z-axis blend with a horizon line. So, and what we have? We have like 4 area, and you need to find this transition for the axis between this curve and this straight line. First, you make it in the middle. So look, I look curve, straight line, right? How this curve will transition to straight? Just kind of something like this. Then I again can subdivide, and then again subdivide here, and can continue as much as you need. You can like make more and more subdivision, like depend on how much detailed perspective grid you want. Then I look at this whole quarter. So okay, now we have this straight and this curved. Again, I need to make transition first in the middle, then dividing this. Now we have this curvature and this straight. Again, transition like this. Now this straight and this curve. So this straight line should transition to this curve line. I can do kind of in the middle, then here, then here. So by this approach, it's very easy and convenient, because otherwise you can confuse. Because sometimes, like if you don't follow this idea of transition straight to this curve, or this straight to this curve, which is different, right? You might confuse and draw, for example, like this. So this will be wrong. What? Because this z-axis should make also, no, yeah, also how you can check it. Like this z-axis should go around y vanishing point. So it's kind of like if you kind of imagine here this line, right? So this z-axis moving up here, so it's like most distant space. And then after this vanishing point, it start to go in kind of inside again, because it's like kind of going back to the vanishing point behind viewer. So here is like going wide, 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 and then going narrow, narrow, narrow. Like I say, it's kind of like making it kind of like a eye pupil inside. So it's very easy to draw if you follow these steps. It's just because if you never draw it before, it's very slow and uncomfortable first couple times. But if you practice just drawing this structure, you don't need to like immediately start to draw like Godzilla in a fisheye perspective, at least first draw like 10 times or even 100 times, you cannot draw too much. More you draw is always better, never too much. So don't afraid to draw too much, let's say. All right. So, and then what we have x. So if on this one, let's say, I can show it like this. So here x on the left, which as you see is like in the structure, this x is have 90° to z vanishing point. So it's like this 90° angle. Same on the left and on the right. So we have this left x and right x. Angle. And here, very interesting, another moment. So like I show you how to build, like remember sequence, like step by step, how to build this curves, this grid, right? Same, you need to remember sequence for how to draw x-axis. So x-axis, you need to know where is x vanishing points. So they will be on an equal distance from z vanishing point, right? So it's like here and here should be equal. And then there is always first, you need to kind of find this straight line between vanishing points, between two z or x vanishing points. So, and when you make this straight line will intersect y-axis. So this construction, it's only about perspective grid. Here, you know, like don't try to find like overthink too much like other reasons why it's like this. It's just how it works in distorted perspective, like from point of view, from camera point of view, all right? So you just remember that like when you draw this structure, like you can again, like I say, we have like horizon line, then you make this axis for vertical line. So it's like sequence, right? Like horizon line, axis, or you can start from axis or horizon line. Then this z vanishing point, and you look where will be x vanishing points, right? And you need kind of build this is kind of like a crossbow, right? Yeah, it's like a crossbow. So where is this straight line for 2x vanishing points, right? So, and here you notice, now we have another constructive element, is this intersection. This intersection, you see, is always like 90 degree. So it's 90 degree here, here, here. What is this intersection? This intersection is show you where camera look at, direction of camera. So like here, camera right now, camera angle. Let's do here. So this is ground. Let's say, yeah, let's do like this. So it's like camera, it can be not only on the ground, anywhere, this camera. So, and this is like sphere of vision. It's like your field of view. So you look in the front, you look up, you look back. So it makes this kind of sphere of vision. And like I say, here we have like y vanishing point on the top and bottom, z vanishing point in front and back, and x vanishing point on the left and right. So when camera look like 45 up, like if we turn kind of camera look 45-degree up, what is happen here if we look on this curvature, right, on this like arc, we will have this like line direction of camera sign intersect this arc in the middle, like here, you see. So distance between y vanishing point and this camera direction and Z vanishing point and the camera direction will be half, right? So it's equal kind of. So it's when you draw this uh, intersection, this cross of x-axis straight line, right? With y-axis straight line. When it's in the middle, it's a 45 angle of camera. So then accordingly to this, like if it can be lower, something about like 22 angle, or somewhere here, like 62 something, about 62 kind of, 65, I don't remember exactly. So no, anyway, you see, so you can place this like here or here, for example, like y-axis or y vanishing point, z vanishing point, and I choose, I say like, okay, I want it here, so I make this x vanishing point, then this goes somewhere here, horizon line. So now we have camera is like have not so high level angle, it's like lower than 45, something about 22. And let's do like y vanishing point, z vanishing point, and this kind of cross about here. X. And this like, I don't know, this is like 75 already here something. Anyway, you see, this like, I'm not precise here, just kind of give you idea how it works. You don't need to kind of calculate it. Don't afraid of numbers. So like, oh, so many numbers. No, it's just give you idea how it works. If you will need uh, have this like precise measurement, now you have system, you can make calculate it more precisely. You just need to know clearly what this thing is, right? So it's like direction of camera. Like, so we know, okay, when this cross in the middle, camera is like direction is like 45 angle. And then it can be higher or lower. And I show you, let's say, a mao here. Так, let's say here. Так. So here is our Z origin point. So here horizon line. It's like, well, we can see origin point for Y here. But okay, yeah, let's make Y straight. So this you see straight line for y-axis. And can see like, yeah, like here we can see on the bed this is a straight x axis. So here right x, here's left x. So this one, it's a camera angle. So it shows like camera here, rotated just like very, very slightly up from like this. So it's not parallel to ground. It's a little rotated to up. I even don't know like how many degree here. Like, let's say 5. Very little. So this is kind of like a perspective grammar. And this, trust me, it's not too much. It's not too much. It's kind of like a basics. So it's make you work more clearly. Так, so it's this one also good example. Так, okay. So you see, it's like y vanishing point here. So we see this axis. Because most of all, your problem with perspective is not because you try not hard enough. It's because you losing some very important nuance, kind of essential element of a perspective, like how perspective works. Так, so here, kind of about here, it's horizon line. Так, so this is like the vanishing point. Yeah, kind of. Let's correct it. Be more precise. Так, so this the axis and this is the axis. So this is the vanishing point. It means horizon line, or he here not very clear. Yeah, seems he been like little loose here because this. What is that? Okay, so this all we can investigate first direction of this the axis, and based on that figure out horizon line. So seems it's here on the level of this bed. Horizon line, the vanishing point. So you see we have now this z and x vanishing point. We have this straight axis of the vertical lines. And now look, where is x? Where is x-axis? Так, so this x-axis here, little curved. I see. Then I look at these buildings. This building, this building. Again, because like freehand, it's not very precise. So yeah, seems his straight x-axis is here. So this x1 here, this x left, and this will be our camera direction, camera angle. Так, now let's draw x for you. Так. So you can then continue as x. So I hope this moment here is clear. And then how we build curvature for this x-axis, kind of in the same manner how I was show you with other ones, but you need to make x-axis go like curve line go through y vanishing point. So then we have like this curve and straight here, right? So this kind of arc from one point to other and a straight here. Now you can define like middle in this transition, then again you find middle, then again middle here, and now you have horizon line, and then you just continue kind of like making more curved this curve over horizon line. And actually like we will not need this place for ground view. I just show you general construction. So then here is horizon line and this curve line, and you draw again between, and again you can subdivide. Same here, horizon line, this curve, draw between here. So point is that x is actually match at certain point is match with the horizon line. That's why it's a transition. So it's go from this curvature and in some point it became same curvature as horizon line. Same on this side is curve, then it's less curve, then it's became opposite curve and became horizon line. Like this. You see? So it's look trippy, it's look hard, but it's not hard if you follow sequence, follow kind of these principles. And y-axis work in the same way like the curvature of the axis. It will go around the vanishing point. So it's like here is moving up. So it's like a farthest point here. And then I start to returning. Here is go like this. And then I start to returning. Then it will be going through X. And then we have like this curve, and goes like this, transition to straight line here. Okay, here, this. So for our warm view, for our ground view, we might use like in a mile, we can take like big part of a top view, kind of like this. So we can make like the no big picture frame can be like this, or we can include this X vanishing points. So like I say, this is a structure of a space, and you can include partially the structure in your drawing, or you can put like more bigger part of it. You can put full structure, and this will be like 6-point perspective. I have tutorial about this. If you put full structure with all 6 vanishing point, with all spherical kind of dome field of view, it will be 6-point perspective. So, or you can make this like ground view, excluding all vanishing points. So it will be like this curved perspective grid. So you have this flexibility. You have a lot of kind of freedom for failure. This is very important. That's why it's important to understand principles, understand core elements, because it also gives you freedom to know, like knowing where you can make mistakes. Without knowing principles, without this literacy, kind of clear knowledge of grammar, you struggle too much trying to make everything perfect. This is like huge problem with amateur kind of uneducated artists. All these beginners who don't have teacher or who don't study in the college, because like you have too many uncertain moments and you try to handle too much stuff without having clear idea what is priority. Так. So maybe I will just make another tutorial talking only about worm view, like fish eye worm view. Write me in the comment if you want to see this tutorial. Today I just talking about ground view, and this was like long explanation about how this perspective grid works, like what is the principle behind this perspective grid. So you already know this is y the vanishing point, z vanishing point, curve space, and now you understand why we will have this x straight line here, x-axis straight here, because somewhere here we have vanishing point, somewhere here, and this will be like camera direction. So, and then x-axis will match with the y-axis, and then we will have intermediate kind of transition here. And then we can draw like how this axis go above, and also can make transition between this straight x-axis and transition to curvature of horizon line, you see. And then you continue kind of expand curvature of horizon line, can go like more and more. And you can make it like eyeballing like this without being like precise. You don't need to measure it. Just what is important is to show like gradual transition, so visually for viewer it's look convincing. It's like we have, oh, it was straight and then it's transitioned to curve and to other side like this. So you don't make it like it was like this, and then it became like this, and it's like, no, it's not work this way. You kind of break space here. Так. Okay. I hope it helps. So this first part was boring theory is finished. Will be second part where I just draws this three type of ground view. Write me also in the comments like if it's useful information for you. Does it help? Because it should help you if you draw comic books illustration or storyboard. Yeah, storyboards for animation. Because you see it's such a crucial Akira camera angle. It just will help you to make your visual storytelling more versatile. Don't draw always same boring camera angles. Now I go to refresh my coffee cup.
This is Jane Bond art.
Так. Coffee. Yes. Couple stream ago, I say I stopped drink coffee. But I'm just a human after all. How to resist coffee in the morning when you need to work on YouTube. Так. I'm just a coffee addicted after all. I can stop any moment. I believe so. Так, so let's say this one example of two-point perspective grid ground plan, ground view. No. So here will be verticals, just like that, without vanishing point, without diminishing. Then I find like where is ground, which is same with the horizon line here. And then I always do, like I teach, make perspective grids. Like when you find horizon line, you find curvature, or not curvature, like angle for z or x-axis. So this will be my z-axis. So I say with this angle, right? So right now I establish angle. It's not like I find proper angle or something. No, I establish it. So now this is ratio. Ratio like we have between this one, it's like A, and this side is B, right? So I can subdivide it just in half. It's easier to connect these points. And I can keep subdividing it if I need more detailed perspective grid. And then I just need to keep continue same ratio of A and B above this already established line. And I can like take exact measure from here, transfer it here and stuff like that. Or I can just eyeball it and just kind of continue same ratio to here. And this is z axis and now will be x axis. So again, like just one line to establish angle, then find the middle points on the left and right, connect them, again middle points, and just kind of continue. So this is our perspective grid. Now I can draw like composition elements. So here is Tetsuo fell with his motorcycle. So cool. But I can turn him into robot. So it's some kind of robot. I am not Tetsuo. I am a robot. Yeah. Some here maybe like some visual effects. So here maybe better this way. It's a crazy robot going wild, shooting around, falling on motorcycles. Maybe, like in the future, near future, when it will be cheap to buy a robot for a house, people will buy like a new robot every 2 years and throw like damp their old robots, and then this like obsolete in the 2 years robots will be hacked, reprogrammed, and sell on a black market. And then these robots will be like lose control and start to form in their own gangs, like robot gangs. Like bikers, robot gangs. So this 7-Eleven. And they're kind of like riding in the nights, listen loud heavy metal. Heavy metal.
Capitalism, crushing communism. Call me run, call me hide, there's cap in the town. Run, call me, run! Run! There's only one way, make America great. Communism and barbarians will never succeed. America's might, pointing their ass. Cap shines, leading the class. Capitalism, capitalism, capitalism. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Capitalism, capitalism, capitalism. Yeah, yeah. Capitalism, here to stay. Commies, beware, he's on his way. Capitalism, crushing communism. Commie run, commie hide. There's cap in the town. Run, commie, run. Capitalism, capitalism, capitalism. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Capitalism, here to stay. Commies beware, he's on his way.
It can be actually a very cool cyberpunk, where it's like a robot bikers gang who's like, for some reason, a fan of old school heavy metal. And they're also like fighting kung fu. Actually, like with yeah, I can imagine like Wing Chun with robots. It might works because they're kind of metal hands. They're like can punch very fast. Yeah, and there for sure should be like, yeah, it should be like a two rival biker gangs with the robots, like good and bad. Um, they're like one one gang listen glam rock, other gang listen thrash metal. Yeah, will be cool. So like glam rock gang, robo gang is kind of also like a punk and glam together kind of blend. So they're like criminal and thrash metal. There's like patriotic uh, good gang. Kind of patrolling night city. So and sometimes they have like conflicts. These two robot gangs like fighting each other with the chimneys, using some like judo, kung fu. Yeah, and they need to have like human engineers in their gang, so they're like a good human ally and some like criminal engineer, like some psycho engineer. Так, so now let's do 3-point ground view. Так, so that should be dark. So here let's make tilted. Yeah, let's do like this. Tilted ground. So y-axis, like central axis will be like this, and then conversion will be towards this central axis. And x, z. Which also I can make any extra vanishing point if I need. So if like I have like some character on a motorcycle here, I can make like vanishing point for him here. So this will be like perspective grid is for background, and this vanishing point is for my character. Here, this. Yeah, here I'm being like very loose with establishing kind of placement of those guys. So at least try and don't make like big kind of mistake with proportions. But anyway, I just like demonstrate you how this type of camera angle works. So if dedicate more time, you can more precisely calculate every element of composition. Так, let's do it here. Yeah, let me double check. So if this here, this here. Let's check it. So just more behind. Yeah, okay.
Let's love together! Push like, subscribe, keep on art. Keep on art. Keep on art. Let's love together! Push like, subscribe,
So here is some like Terminator on a motorcycle. Like wow. It's a Joe is flying here. Like, anyway, so here can draw some background. So why also perspective grids so important? Because so often I see this problem with artists who is like not confident with perspective. They like cannot connect environment with characters, and it was also for me like long time a problem. I was thinking like why kind of like characters floating in a space and environment background feels like detached from character because you don't have like unifying structure. Perspective grid works like this unifying structure. So I telling it's like you establish like virtual space inside your picture, and so then everything you draw with you draw like within your virtual space. So it's kind of you can really it feels like you're moving it like closer, further. You create surface, you put it on a surface, then you can move the surface like in a 3D program. And surprisingly, to get to this um, approach, to this ability to draw like you draw in a 3D, it's not so difficult. It's not so difficult like it might seems. It's hard like for 10-year-olds, almost impossible before 12-year-old, because you need to have this kind of well-developed rational mind. Children, they're like more intuitive and like kinetic, so they can capture images subconsciously, kind of right hemisphere work predominantly. So they capture images very fast. They capture like capture meanings very fast. But this kind of stuff, like abstract calculations, like this kind of abstract operations for children is just beyond their kind of development stage. So it's kind of this case when actually if you're like over 20-year-old, it will be much easier for you to study perspective. Especially if you like during your life using your brain, not just drink alcohol and party all the time. So it's like you already have a very well developed neuron network. This make you able grasp complex abstract concept very fast, like can learn very fast. So it's good news for children. Like most, it's normal. Like don't teach them perspective before 12. Like from my experience, it just not works. So, yeah, unfortunately, like some people don't understand, it's like ridiculous unprofessionalism. Like when you work with children, you need to know this theory kind of stages, development stages, like what age they're best to learn, like kind of like in a different age, they have like different priorities they need to learn. It's called like development stages. So don't push children to learn something which is go against their current development stage, kind of, because this will only make them frustrated. Так, so and when I was like teach children, like when they about 8-year-old or younger, 8-year-old, I treated first of all just like a general education of some kind of like aesthetic and social skill, maybe so. Because like I cannot teach much theory for children. They will be overwhelmed because art is actually very complex. It's not so simple as people think. It's very complex. So for children, better you give them experience than explain them. So it's kind of you give them try different materials, give them experience of drawing different type of illustrations with different materials. Just make kind of little guide them because they before 8-year-old they're very creative. You don't need kind of inspire them or like give them theory of composition, whatever. They just draw whatever they want. It just helps them to uh, feel material, like how to use watercolor or how to use um, gouache or ink. It's like a little nudge towards more successful result, kind of this. Так. So, and let's do like fish eye. So, can do here. So same like tilted camera angle. Let's do like this fish eye, ground level, ground camera angle. So this horizon line, this is ground, horizon line on the ground, then y-axis like this. And like I say, so this z vanishing point, curvature goes this way. For x, remember I tell about straight line. So this is x, straight line. And curvature start to bend this way, opposite horizon line. And here I can make like below horizon line little. And the y-axis, like I tell, y-axis go around the vanishing point, right? So somewhere there, then go like this, like this. Так. So let's make some situation here. So what can happen? Okay, let's some guy standing. Feels like best. It's like, don't come closer. I will shoot. And here is gang. Punk, Emma, Glam, Cyber Gang on the motorcycles. So I have like a lot of motorcycles. And here's our dude. He have his motorcycle broken. Here, like a smoking. Just kind of we see improvising, having fun. And here we have some cyberpunk city. So maybe this one like unfinished bridge in construction. So you will amaze how kind of how much opportunity and ability you gain from implementing perspective into your work. So it's really worth to study perspective. It's like you already have a lot of kind of you already talented enough. Let's say you already have enough of drawing experience, but you lack of theory, lack of knowledge, of perspective. It's a real drawback. So it's not like your lack of imagination or lack of mileage. Yeah, it's always lack in everything. But if you add perspective to your work, you will like your like imagination from here it's like, will explode like this. Should go here. Now you can draw a lot of crazy stuff with a perspective. So look, like just from nothing crazy stuff appears. So I can just build this Akira stuff very easily. Piece of cake. So all this time problem is not a talented or like lack of talent or even like lack of experience. All the time is a lack of time and laziness. You're just lazy because you can find this information. You can find these answers because I find them, right? I not like undig them on some secret island. No, I find them in open sources. It's everywhere. You just need to search. And now, even it for you, it's even easier because I given it to you on my channel. So all you need is just go to like search box on my channel, type what kind of perspective issue you want to solve, like fisheye perspective or first perspective for beginners or curvilinear perspective, 5-point perspective, 6-point perspective, different camera angles, how to rotate in perspective, how to draw stairs, how to draw motorcycles, how to draw cars in perspective. It will be soon, it will be like a whole universe in perspective on my on my channel. So you just go to homepage on my YouTube channel, write on the search box, write what you want, and just learn all this information, which is like hard to find, but it's always possible to find. It just take a lot of time and effort. And I save this time for you. I save this time. So now you don't need to look, you only need to practice. You don't need to search kind of all this different sources. Because before when you want to look find some like how to draw particular stuff in perspective or like how to finally actually use it in your work, you always stumble onto some basic perspective tutorials. They tell like 1-point perspective, 2-point perspective. It's like, oh my god, again, like everybody talk about 1-point, 2-point perspective. But how to draw crazy stuff like Katsuhiro Otomo or Masamune Shiro? There's no much tutorials about that. almost zero. Except my channel. Так. So here we have this. Again. Yeah, also, like I say, for practice, do small drawings like this, because small size, you can go through all process very fast. You don't need like spend like 5 hours to draw this A3 or A4 size to draw in all details. Just focus on structure first, just like overall sequence. Like first you establish perspective grid, then you establish composition, and then you build kind of draw details. Make them small, this like small practice, small pictures like this. You can use a reference like I use in here, and you can see like I use a reference just more like inspiration. I'm not copy here. I just look say like, oh, some dudes on motorcycles, let's draw them, but I draw totally different motorcycles and different dudes, different buildings. It's just given me idea like subject and atmosphere. So same you can do. It's totally legit practice. Everybody do this. Like, don't always push yourself to draw like totally from zero. Like, it should be no any visuals, no any reference. No, it's not necessary. And especially for practice, you can steal composition, can steal everything from your favorite artwork because it's practice. You don't want to sell it, you don't want to make exhibition, you just want to practice like process of drawing like complex perspective. And this is most kind of enjoyable approach because it's kind of fun, you know. Like I practice perspective drawing robot bike gang, you know. It's not like just kind of boring studies. So just choose some fun reference for you. It might be like fantasy, some kind of Conan Barbarian. It might be sci-fi, some space, maybe screenshot from computer game, or some screenshot from animation or movie, and draw it in perspective. So white, sweet. Okay. So let's be it for today. You see, 2-point perspective grid, ground view, ground plane, 3-point perspective grid for ground plane, and fish eye. And I even draw them like with a tilted camera. So see you in the next streams.
Madness. This is Chain Bond Art.